Hello and welcome back to Broadside Gaming with me, Zug. So, Tuesday is fast approaching, which is the update for the Ogryn, and there's a few weapons for him. So, we're going to be taking a look through the Ogryn and seeing if there are some talents we can pre-build for our lovely two-handed weapons that are coming, which is the Shock Maul and the Pickaxe. So, let's take a look. Being weirdly slow game, thanks very much. So as you can see, I'm using the general Brunts Basher build with the kickback. We are also getting a double barrel shotgun. At this point, we're working on the idea that it kind of works the same way as the kickback with 2 shots, probably lower damage though. So let's have a look what we can do talents wise. We do have a few builds in this, so let's go through the different options. So as you can see, this is a big friendly rock centric build. We're taking the general melee talents up here, which is Furious, the best defense, Smash 'em, heavyweight, and Linchpin. And of course the big friendly rock, which is great. Into Slam, toughness damage reduction, into Indomitable, which gives us a lovely long charge, granting us extra attack speed and movement speed. Then we're going to be grabbing Stomping Boots, which replenishes 10% toughness for each enemy hit. And then Pulverize, which adds bleed stacks to all of the stuff we hit, which is very important because this is a heavy attack bleed build. And then we're going to be grabbing Batter, inflict 4 stacks of bleed on heavy melee hit. But we're also going down into the middle here to grab a health boost and Hard Knocks. 1% damage to your next heavy melee attack on enemy stagger. Stacks 25 times, lasts 10 seconds. The larger the enemy, the more stacks earned. So this is free damage for us because we're going to be hitting and charging up heavy attacks as much as we can. And then we're going to be grabbing Bonebreaker's Aura, 10% heavy melee attack damage for you and your allies in Coherency. Again, free damage. Going to jump over here to the middle. For Get Stuck In, activating your combat ability, you and your allies in Coherency gain 20% movement speed and are also immune to stuns and suppression. This is absolutely goddamn amazing, and it's even more amazing when we were fighting the Karnak twins over the winter holiday, as this allowed you to charge through the green gas with very little worry. And now for Bruiser, 5% combat ability cooldown reduction when you and an ally in Coherency kill an elite enemy. This is just going to keep Indomitable rolling. As the higher difficulty you do, this build is built for Uruk and Damnation, by the way, but the higher level you do, the more elites there are, the more times you can press your special button. And then we're going to be going over here in Delight in Destruction, 10% damage resistance per bleeding enemy in melee range. Again, heavy hits, more bleeds, everyone wins, but especially us. And then Dominate, 10% rending for 10 seconds on elite kill. Elites aren't going to be that much trouble for us because we're going to be heavy hitting them in the face with a big piece of metal. And then Implacable, 10% damage reduction while charging in melee attacks. That's just good because we will be getting tapped and hit while we're charging around, smacking things. And then into Heavy Hitter, 5% damage for 7.5 seconds on heavy attack hit, stacks 5 times. Just getting started while Heavy Hitter is active, is at 5 stacks, gain 10% attack speed. And then Brutish Momentum, heavy hit duration is refreshed by light attacks. So if you have to weave in some light attacks into your combat, it won't lose heavy hitter. But we aren't taking Unstoppable, because we don't have the point for it at the moment. So this is the big friendly rock version. This should work pretty goddamn well with the heavy two-handed weapons we'll be getting. Hopefully we will be able to get stuff like Skullcrusher and Thunderous on them, because these are what really make the build shine. Targets receive 4 stacks of 10% damage if already staggered. Basically everything we do staggers them, and not to forget that our mouse button 4 or special attack ability with these clubs is a big staggering slap, which means they're going to take more damage from us. And also it stops them from doing stuff as we're fighting. So if they're trying to fire, jump, don't forget you can backhand things. It's also hilarious. So this is what we're hoping, that we will get something like Skull Crusher and Thunderous on these weapons, because it really, really does what make this build shine. And then for the secondary weapon, which will either be the kickback or the new double barrel shotgun. Again, haven't got much info on this. To be honest, it can probably be built exactly the same as long as it has access to the same perks and blessings. Well, it'll have the same perks, obviously, but in blessings. But there are a few other ways we can build this. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at a different build. Bombs Away. It's basically the first build here. As you can see, I'll show you the differences. We're going to be picking up Soften Them Up. Enemies damaged by you take 15% more damage for 5 seconds. This is just another real big damage boost, but it does lose us our ability to snipe stuff with the big friendly rock. But it gives us a massive horde clearing bomb. And as we come down here, you'll see it's pretty much the same all the way down. Except with this one, we are having to lose brutish momentum just because of the extra points we're taking up here. That just means we can't light attack to a fresh heavy hitter. So it's a little bit more awkward, and you may drop stacks if you're not paying exact attention to what you're doing with your heavy attacks. But that is the only real difference between these two builds, is the increased damage here, a horde clearing bomb, but without brutish momentum. And then we have the build that I've freshly crafted the other day. You may have seen it in the last video. So this build is the Frag Bomb. Now this bomb is even bigger than Bombs Away. Bombs Away obviously lets out a box and it blows up. It's quite big, but this is the biggest horde bomb. This thing will clear out a room. And as you can see, we've gone for Soften Them Up again, into Indomitable, Stomping Boots, but instead of taking Pulverize this time, we are taking Trample. For each enemy hit by Bull Rush, you gain a stack of Trample. Trample increases base damage by 2% for 8 seconds, stacking up to 25 stacks. This is a huge damage boost for us, and I do think it will work quite nicely with the heavy weapon. But obviously you can jump between the two however you feel. Pulverize just gives us more damage reduction from enemies around us and a bit more damage done, whereas this just gives us a huge damage buff. And as you can see down here, it is pretty much exactly the same, but with heavy hitter we are taking all of the nodes. So we're taking Unstoppable and Brutish Momentum. This gives us quite a bit of defense in the kit that we're losing from Pulverize, but we are gaining it again down here from Unstoppable. Now, I do think this build may work the best with the two-handed weapons, but again, we have to see how they are when they drop and what blessings are available to us. Generally, I'm still using the Brunt's Basher. I like the attack pattern, and the blessings on it are really good. But hopefully, they don't screw us over with the two-handed weapons, because we've been waiting actually over 2 years now for the Ogryn to actually get his goddamn weapons. I do think the third build in this list is going to work just a bit better than the other two. Although you do lose out on the Big Friendly Rock, which is sad because the Big Friendly Rock is amazing. It gives us that ability to snipe elite with a rock. But don't forget that the Lorenz Mark V kickback does have a stupid range on it, so you can actually snipe things with the kickback as well. I mean, you don't do full damage, but obviously this thing staggers absolutely everything at ridiculous ranges. So even that far out. So it's 21 meters. So even at 30 meters, the kickback can stagger and knock down. Obviously it's a close combat weapon and does the most damage if you aim it straight into their face. But it's not lacking if you have to use it at that sort of range. And we're working on the idea that the double barrel shotgun kind of works the same way. But we won't know truly until Tuesday. But there you go. That's 3 builds for you that will probably work quite well with the two-handed weapons we're getting coming up. So I really do hope you enjoy them, folks, and that they work out well for you. If they do, let us know in the comments down below. And if you've enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, ring that little bell for notifications. It really does help us out. And until the next video, take it easy, and I'll see you later.